as a daily driver. Yeah, a 5-year-old Samsung Galaxy S2. And to put this into perspective, the latest Samsung Galaxy is in its 7th iteration already, the S7. And today, smartphones are even more mature than ever, to the point that there's not really much exciting going on in the market right now. So let's get a quickie on the specs of this guy. It has a relatively thin body with a nice textured back. It has a clean plastic design overall, a slightly bulging camera bump, a rear-firing speaker which haven't changed much even in some newer smartphones, a physical home button with 2 capacitive buttons on each side, and a Gorilla Glass front. Its 4.3-inch screen is small by today's standards, but it enables a comfortable one-handed use. It also has a pretty durable body. I mean, I have dropped this thing several times already, like dozens of times. Back falls off, battery falls off, but put it back together and it's still okay, like really durable. And it's no nice low height, like it's really much like this height. So what the guts inside? Well, it has an Exynos 1.2 GHz dual-core processor, 1GB of RAM, 16 gigs of storage, micro SD card slot. I currently have 32 gigs in this guy. Also has a 4.3-inch 800 by 480 WVGA screen, which is usually found in really budget phones nowadays, but it's an AMOLED Plus display. It is no Retina display, but it can still produce nice and punchy colors. So back in 2011, this phone was a beast. It crushed benchmark, received amazing reviews, and it's really one of the best smartphones you could possibly get in 2011. And today in 2016, it is still a perfectly usable smartphone. I can use it for social media, surf the web without any problems, even desktop sites for that matter. Camera is still decent, majority of apps still work. Every essential thing a smartphone needs to do, it can still do. The latest Android version you could possibly get on this smartphone, like official update, is only up to Android 4.1.2, which is Jelly Bean and is quite dated. Like, you can't run Pokemon Go on this guy. But wait, it's Android. I rooted it, custom ROM, custom recovery, and I got Android 5.1 minimal OS on this phone. And it's only one version behind the latest version of Android, which is Android 6, which is still relatively up to date. But I don't recommend you guys getting this phone because, well, despite all the great things it can still do today, its age is finally catching up to it. Like the first thing I said, you may need a custom ROM just to get the latest version of Android. So unless you're tech savvy and you know things like rooting, custom ROMs, Android, not really a phone for everyone. Also, I didn't talk about speed. Well, don't worry, it's no stereotypical turtle. It's still pretty snappy and simple things. I mean, some apps takes a while to get up to speed, like become unresponsive for a few seconds before you can actually use them. And from time to time, it's gonna hiccup. That 5-6-year-old processor, it's pretty much getting old. And again, back to custom ROMs. Minimal OS is already a really lean ROM. Also, camera. I mean, it's still a really good smartphone camera, but launch times, dynamic range, sharpness, noise, nothing special anymore. To end this phone, despite age finally catching up to it, and quick, is still usable and livable even in today. So you may be asking, would I be holding on to this phone forever? No, I mean, its age is definitely catching up. And at a point, this phone will become obsolete. But I'm holding on to this phone until a worthy replacement, whether it's something truly innovative or a flagship smartphone that is really low in price finally comes to market. Likers gonna like, haters gonna hate, and subscribe because even with my inconsistent schedule, I still strive to produce quality content. Also comment down below on any more video suggestions you guys could possibly think of. I can't do everything, but I mean, it's a good start. The humble netbook. Small, light, cheap. They were not the fastest machines during its day, let alone today. Some of these netbooks did come with Windows 7, and with Windows 10 being a free upgrade for those running Windows 7 or Windows 8.